superhero!
Alright, so here's my review of The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. I fucking love this movie. I've watched it like 3 times now, all on HBO Max because it was super convenient. I do plan on going to see it in theaters next weekend. I definitely want to see it at least once in theaters because this is a movie you gotta see on a big screen because there's just so much grindhouse action in this that you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't see it in theaters. And in every conceivable way, this has outshined the 2016 Suicide Squad in every way. We're talking editing, way better here in the James Gunn Suicide Squad. Action, way better. Story, way better. Characters, way better. You could just go down the whole list. And there's so many things that work in this movie that, I could spend hours just talking about it. But I want to keep this relatively short. I will be doing a full, spoiler review sometime this week, because there's a lot to really talk about this movie. And on repeat viewings, I was catching much more foreshadowing. Like, there's a specific scene at the beginning when they're in the prison, and John Cena and Idris Elba, their characters are going back and forth, and John Cena is talking about how his bullets are smaller, and they'll shoot inside the hole of the bullets that Bloodsport has. And then at the end of the movie, well, near the end, third act, they shoot at each other, the bullets pierce each other, and Bloodsport's bullets are smaller, and they pierce through Peacemaker's bullet, and that's what takes out Peacemaker. So they foreshadow the ending of the movie way at the beginning. And that's not a stretch, that's actual foreshadowing. Another thing with Peacemaker's character that they foreshadow is that if the beach is covered in dicks, he'll eat every dick for liberty. And then you see at the end of the movie, he turns on the whole Suicide Squad. Because if the data on Starro gets out, then everybody will know America was responsible for Starro. And Peacemaker can't have that. He's only there to protect America's interests. And there's another great line earlier from Bloodsport where he tells Peacemaker, I think liberty is just your excuse to do whatever the hell you want. And I feel like that's a theme the actual Peacemaker show is going to explore as we get into that. I love the foreshadowing they were doing in this movie. So many things surprised me about this movie, like Boomerang dying at the beginning really set up the whole movie to have this feeling that anybody could die. Nobody was safe, except for maybe Harley Quinn. I feel like Harley Quinn's like the mascot character that's like, there's no way you can really kill Harley Quinn in these movies. But besides that, I feel like anybody could have went. And, there's people out there that are actually, distraught that Polka Dot Man died. And doesn't that go to show just how well they portrayed Polka Dot Man? How good the characterization of Polka Dot Man was if everybody's upset that he died. That's a really good sign. King Shark's another character that surprised me a lot. I wasn't expecting much out of him, but there was moments throughout the film that made you feel really bad for King Shark. There's a moment where they're all partying in the club, and it cuts back to King Shark, and he's in the bus by himself, just breathing heavy all by himself, and it's just sad. In fact, everything with King Shark seems sad. There's a part where he thinks he makes, new dumb friends, but then those dumb friends just start eating him alive the second they get close to him. Just feels like everything bad that could happen to King Shark, it happens, and he's just a big dumb animal. I don't think he deserves all this bad stuff to happen to him. So, the film really gets you to feel for King Shark, a giant CGI shark. They get you to feel for it. Ratcatcher 2, she stole the show, really. I mean, she's really the central character by the third act. She is the main character. And I love the flashback to her father and how his father's like, if rats have a purpose, that means everybody has a purpose. And I thought that was a really, really good message. And it fits the Suicide Squad. And that's the thing about this movie. James Gunn gets the characters. He gets what Suicide Squad is. It's a team of villains, but they're not all bad. They still have a purpose. I love that theme of the movie. That everybody has purpose, even the people that society has thrown away, which is what the Suicide Squad is. That's why they're sent out on missions, because they're people that nobody cares about. And even they have a purpose. And, I just really like that theme. A bunch of clever editing in the movie, if we can get on that. There's a point in the movie where they're on a bus and they're going through, some of their backstory, exposition. But what makes it easy to digest is that they're kind of intercutting, these visual storytelling cues in like the window of the bus, so it's not just the character talking. You get to actually see what their past is and whatnot, like what happened to Ratcatcher's dad. Yeah, I love everything about this movie. They really pushed the R rating. I feel like this is the most R-rated movie we've ever gotten from DC. It's not like a soft R rating like Birds of Prey, where there's really no rhyme or reason why it should have an R rating. But you watch this James Gunn Suicide Squad, you totally understand why it should have an R rating. And I am a Grindhouse fan. I do love this Quentin Tarantino, ultra violence in movies. Some people think it's like, senseless violence, it's a little over the top. I don't really see it that way. I see it as pure entertainment. It's the only medium you can really do this in other than video games, right? And it serves a purpose. It sets up the brutality of the world and how everybody is at risk of dying at any moment. I mean, I think that's a good thing. The soundtrack selection I thought was very good in this movie too. And not only was like the orchestral soundtrack that went with the movie, it fit for what it needed to be. And it actually was pretty good in the climax of the movie. But they also had music cues for songs that were perfect for the scenes. The specific one I'm thinking of is the rain scene, where it's just an incredible shot of the Suicide Squad walking through the rain, and you hear the Pixies, "Hey," one of my favorite bands of all time. I was blown away when I heard this song, and I was blown away by the shot. Like, it was just a really good-looking shot. And I got goosebumps. That's something that, never really happened in Birds of Prey. You never really got a big shot like that. And even in the first Suicide Squad movie, you don't really get a good-looking shot like that. And there's a lot of good-looking shots in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It's made competently. It's a clear, concise vision from beginning to end. It doesn't feel choppy at all. Even when they're going backwards and forwards through time, they give you unique title cards that tell you, at what point you are in the movie. And they're awesome. Like, unique title cards that tell you, meanwhile with Harley, or 3 days earlier, and it's on like some toilet seat. And so every single title card is unique. The movie's made with a lot of care, and I appreciate that. We haven't gotten that from a DC movie in quite a while. It's easily the best like DC action film in the last 5 years. The action alone in this movie blows away everything that's come before. But in this Suicide Squad movie, everything works. Like, everything works. Every character gets a shine. The color grading's on point. Cinematography on point. The story has a meaning, has a message. And the movie has fucking Starro in it, man. Like, I don't believe people that say they're DC fans and don't like this movie. Like, it's fucking out of this world. You finally get Starro in a movie and you think it's, what? You think it's just trash? Are you out of your fucking minds? Everybody that watches this movie is in agreement that it's much better than what came before. Everybody. The only people that don't think that have some kind of vendetta against the film. Have some like wild conspiracy theories about the fucking release of this film or something. Those are the only people I see complaining about the movie, really. Because if you're honest with yourself, they nailed Starro. Even the little face huggers that fucking attached to everybody's face. Dude, they could have not did that at all. It's amazing that they did that. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to go on too long. But yeah, I love the Suicide Squad. There's a lot of things they did right. I can't name many things they did wrong. If I was to nitpick, I would say Calendar Man was kind of out of character. For that 10 seconds you see Calendar Man. That's it. I'm not even bothered that Amanda Waller gets hit in the head and she doesn't do anything to retaliate to the people that, hit her in the head with a golf club. Because I feel like that's coming in the Peacemaker show anyway. Like, I feel like that will be revisited anyway. Like, I didn't need that answered in this movie at all. So, other than that, like, there's nothing to say negatively about this movie. Everything makes sense. There's a logic to the movie. There's a consistent through line that goes from the beginning to the end. Foreshadowing at the beginning that pays off at the end. It's a well thought out movie. And I enjoyed everything about it. But anyway, I'm going to watch it again and again. I'll have no problem buying it on Blu-ray. I want to go see it in theaters next weekend. Just to see it at least once on the big screen. And it's been a while since I enjoyed a DC film this much. It's a 9 out of 10. No, it's a 10 out of 10. It's the highest score you can give it. It's James Gunn's masterpiece, man. I've been following his career since Slither, and this is my favorite film from him. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If you're just a Snyder shill, that's going to trash this movie, get the fuck out. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye-bye.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2